a very warm welcome. You're watching News Tonight with your host Kriti Mishra. Before we begin with the bulletin, I would like to appeal to all our viewers to continue to maintain COVID-appropriate behavior as we are witnessing a surge in the cases. Do remember to wear your mask, wash your hands and face regularly, and ensure physical distancing each time you step outside. We are still in the midst of the pandemic, and these simple precautions will help us keep the infection at bay. Now let's take a look at the headlines. Amid rising coronavirus cases, Prime Minister Narendra Modi calls high-level meeting with top officials from various ministries to review the pandemic situation and ongoing vaccination exercise. Top Akhada announces end of Mahakumbh in Haridwar after Prime Minister's request to keep the religious festival symbolic. Pharma companies slash price of antiviral drug Remdesivir after government's intervention. Health Minister Harshvardhan reviews COVID-19 situation with health ministers of 11 states, assures states of adequate supply of vaccine. Over 12 crore people vaccinated so far. West Bengal fifth phase election concludes. Over 78% voter turnout recorded for 45 assembly seats. Voting also held for by-polls to 2 Lok Sabha, 13 assembly seats in 10 states. West Bengal politics heats up over Mamata Banerjee's alleged auto clip on Cooch Behar incident. BJP calls for EC action. TMC lodges complaint with EC, describes audio clip as bogus. And Prime Minister Narendra Modi has called a review meeting with top officials from various ministries over the COVID-19 situation and the ongoing vaccination exercise in the country. The meeting comes amid a huge surge in COVID-19 cases across the country, with reports pouring in from many states about the shortage of hospital facilities and essentials like oxygen supply. The Prime Minister has been holding meetings with chief ministers and officials on a regular basis to discuss the situation and take measures to curb the pandemic. Earlier in the day, Union Health Minister Dr. Harshvardhan took stock of the coronavirus situation with health ministers of 11 states. The health minister reiterated that there is no shortage of vaccines in the country. The centre has so far supplied over 14 crore jabs to states with over 1 crore doses to be supplied to the state by next week. The state health ministers shared a brief snapshot of the actions taken for containment, surveillance and treatment of the COVID-positive cases of their states.
भारत सरकार ने एक मेडिकल ऑक्सीजन सप्लाई के संदर्भ में स्टेट्स को डिफरेंट मैन्युफैक्चरर्स के माध्यम से 30 अप्रैल तक का जो है एक कैलेंडर जो है इशू किया है और जो मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ हेल्थ है, DPIIT और मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ होम अफेयर्स, उन सब ने मिलकर स्टेट्स के अंदर ये मेडिकल ऑक्सीजन की सप्लाई अनहिंडर्ड, किसी भी प्रकार की रुकावट के बगैर स्टेट बॉर्डर्स के ऊपर ये उपलब्ध हो, इसको भी सुनिश्चित किया है.
And India has vaccinated over 12 crore people so far. Over 30 lakh people were vaccinated in the last 24 hours, out of which over 22 lakh were administered the first, while over 7 lakh people were given the second jab. Over 1.47 crore health workers and over 1.64 crore frontline workers have received the vaccine. And amid the shortage of the antiviral drug Remdesivir in the wake of surge in novel coronavirus cases in the country, prices of Remdesivir injection have been voluntarily curtailed by various drug companies on the intervention of the government. This after the centre held a meeting with all existing manufacturers of the drug and other stakeholders to discuss steps taken to increase production and supply and reduce prices of Remdesivir. According to the details, shared Kerala Healthcare has reduced the price of its Remdek injection to Rs 899 from 2,800. Dr. Reddy's Labs has cut the price from 5,400 earlier to 2,700 now. The Railway Board has approved Maharashtra government's request for transportation of liquid medical oxygen on cryogenic tankers by rail. These will be transported under the roll-on roll-off scheme, which means the trucks loaded with liquid medical oxygen in cryogenic tanks will be put on the railway wagons for quick movement. In the sharpest ever increase in COVID-19 daily cases, India recorded over 2 lakh cases for the third straight day on Monday. States also reported 1,341 deaths in the last 24 hours. 10 states and union territories, including Maharashtra, Uttar Pradesh and Delhi, account for 79.32% of the new coronavirus cases in the country. Maharashtra reported the highest daily new cases at over 67,000, followed by Uttar Pradesh with 27,360 and Delhi with over 24,000 fresh cases. 10 states, Maharashtra, Uttar Pradesh, Delhi, Chhattisgarh, Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh, Kerala, Gujarat, Tamil Nadu and Rajasthan reported 79.32% of new cases. A total of 16 states, including Punjab, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Telangana, Uttarakhand, Andhra Pradesh and West Bengal, are displaying an upward trajectory in daily new cases. 5 states, Maharashtra, Chhattisgarh, Uttar Pradesh, Karnataka and Kerala, cumulatively account for 65.02% of India's total active cases. Weekend restrictions were imposed in Delhi, Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh, among other states. Amid escalating cases of COVID-19, Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal on Saturday said the pandemic situation in the city has become very serious and worrisome, with oxygen stock, remdesivir and other drugs for patients in short supply. The national capital reported over 24,000 cases in the last 24 hours. This is the highest single-day surge in Delhi till date. On Thursday and Friday, the city had recorded 16,699 and 17,282 cases, respectively. Kejriwal also spoke with Health Minister Harshvardhan and requested him to increase supplies of oxygen stock and drugs for COVID-19 patients in Delhi. He further added that the Delhi government is trying to escalate beds on a large scale in the coming days.
केसेस 19,500 से बढ़ के 24,000 हो गए हैं. पॉजिटिविटी रेट 24% से ज़्यादा हो गया है. तो स्थिति काफ़ी गंभीर है, चिंताजनक है. चूँकि केसेस बहुत ज़्यादा तेज़ी से बढ़ रहे हैं, इस वजह से इन सारी चीज़ों की कमी भी, जो हमें लगता था कुछ दिन पहले तक की स्थिति ये चीज़ें उचित मात्रा में मौजूद हैं, आज ऑक्सीजन की, रेमडेसिविर की और टॉसिलिजुमैब, इन तीनों की कमी नज़र आई.
And Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Saturday appealed to keep further processions of Kumbh Mela as symbolic in the wake of COVID-19 pandemic. The Prime Minister also spoke to Swami Avdeshanand Giri and requested that Kumbh Mela should now only be symbolic, as 2 Shahi Snans have already concluded. He said it will strengthen the fight against the pandemic. In his telephonic conversation, Prime Minister also inquired about the health of saints and thanked them for all kind of cooperation to the administration. Later, Swami Avdeshanand Giri announced that the Kumbh Mela has concluded for the Juna Akhada. The Akhada announced the end of Kumbh festivities after Prime Minister Narendra Modi spoke with him. Meanwhile, the Congress Working Committee on Saturday met virtually to discuss the COVID-19 situation in the country. The meeting was chaired by party chief Sonia Gandhi. Addressing a press conference after the meet that lasted over 2.5 hours, Congress leader P. Chidambaram said concrete suggestions made by CWC members would be sent to Prime Minister Narendra Modi through a letter by former Prime Minister Manmohan Singh.
Government must also reconsider its priority for vaccine candidates by reducing the immunization age to 25 years and above, as also to all younger persons with at-risk health disorders like asthma, angina, diabetes, kidney and liver diseases, and other similar ailments.
And time for a short break. Lots more on the other side. Stay tuned. "79% voter turnout was recorded till 6 p.m. for the fifth phase of assembly elections in West Bengal on Saturday. Election Commission said polling in 15,789 polling stations were conducted peacefully. The polling, which began at 7 a.m., concluded at 6:30 p.m. in 45 assembly constituencies, spread over 6 districts amid tight security. Long queues were seen outside polling booths adhering to COVID-19 protocols. The state is witnessing 8-phase elections. With West Bengal's 5th phase voting, polling was also held simultaneously for by-elections of 2 Lok Sabha seats along with 13 assembly constituencies spread over 10 states. Polling was held for the by-elections of 2 Lok Sabha seats including Tirupati in Andhra Pradesh and Belagaum in Karnataka. Apart from this, voting was also held for 13 assembly seats, including 3 in Rajasthan, 2 in Karnataka, and 1 each in Gujarat, Jharkhand, Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Mizoram, Odisha, Telangana, and Uttarakhand. And campaigning has intensified for the remaining 3 phases of assembly elections in West Bengal. Prime Minister Narendra Modi addressed rallies in Asansol and Gangarampur cities on Saturday. While addressing an election rally in Asansol city, Prime Minister Modi alleged that in the past decade, West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee has been standing as a wall against development of the state. Accusing the ruling TMC of running syndicates across the state, he promised to implement all the welfare schemes of the central government in West Bengal if BJP is voted to power in the state.
तुष्टीकरण की नीति किसने पनपाई? तुष्टीकरण की नीति किसने पनपाई? किसके कारण पुलिस दंगाइयों के पक्ष में खड़ी रही? किसके कारण पुलिस दंगाइयों के पक्ष में खड़ी रही? एक ही जवाब है ना? एक ही जवाब है ना? हर कोई कह रहा है दीदी के कारण, दीदी के कारण, दीदी के कारण। भाइयों और बहनों, जो विकास पर विरोध को, विश्वास पर प्रतिशोध को, सुशासन पर राजनीति को प्राथमिकता देती है, ऐसी सरकार पश्चिम बंगाल का भला नहीं कर सकती।
While referring to the alleged audio tape of Mamata Banerjee regarding Cooch Behar incident, Prime Minister Modi said the West Bengal CM's insensitivity was evident once again in connection with the incident.
इस ऑडियो में कूच बिहार के टीएमसी नेता को कहा जा रहा है कि मारे गए लोगों के शवों के साथ रैली निकालो। दीदी, वोट बैंक के लिए कहां तक जाएगी आप?
At a rally at Gangarampur, Prime Minister Modi said that the BJP is getting huge support in Bengal, contending that Mamata Banerjee has not been attending most of the meetings between the centre and the state chief ministers on one pretext or another. Prime Minister said that she has also not attended to recent meetings over the emerging COVID situation in the country.
भाजपा इस क्षेत्र को आत्मनिर्भर बनाने के लिए कनेक्टिविटी और करप्शन फ्री सरकार देने के लिए कमर कस चुकी है। बीजेपी की डबल इंजन सरकार इस क्षेत्र को इंटरनेशनल ट्रेडिंग हब बनाने के लिए यहां की जो समृद्ध हेरिटेज है, उसके टूरिज्म से जुड़े सामर्थ्य को बल देने के लिए पूरा प्रयास करने वाली है।
And Home Minister Amit Shah held 2 roadshows and rallies in the poll-bound West Bengal on Saturday. He addressed 2 rallies at Chhapra and Osgram, respectively. Rallying for his party in West Bengal, Shah said that only the BJP can stop infiltration in the state. He also predicted an overwhelming victory of his party in the ongoing West Bengal Assembly elections. He added BJP is forming the government with more than 200 seats.
2 मई को भाजपा सरकार बना दो, पूरे बंगाल में केजी से पीजी तक किसी भी बच्ची को पढ़ाने का कोई फीस नहीं होगा, फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट बच्चियों को पढ़ाएगा। माताएं बहनें दीदी, आप लोग बताओ, बस में बैठते हो, ट्रेन में बैठते हो, कलकत्ते जाओ तो मेट्रो में बैठते हो, आपको टिकट लेना पड़ता है ना? लेना पड़ता है या नहीं लेना पड़ता है? लेना पड़ता है ना? 2 मई को बाद बंगाल में किसी भी माता बहन बेटी को टिकट लेने की जरूरत नहीं है। आपका पूरा ट्रांसपोर्टेशन फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट कर दिया जाए। सरकारी नौकरियों में 33% माताओं के लिए आरक्षित किया जाएगा। ये मेरे युवा बैठे हैं, इनकी रोजगारी एक घुसपैठिए छीन लेते हैं। आप कोई चिंता न मत करो, 5 साल के अंदर हर परिवार से एक युवा को रोजगारी देने का काम ये भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार करने वाली है।
And earlier, Amit Shah also held a roadshow at Amdanga in North 24 Parganas district, where he sought to bolster the BJP's campaign for the upcoming phases of Bengal Assembly elections. BJP supporters cheered for Shah as his caravan inched forward through the crowded streets of Amdanga. People queued up on both sides of the road to catch a glimpse of him. And West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee alleged that the BJP is continuously trying to mislead the people against her party. Addressing a rally in Purba, Bardhaman district, she also accused the central government of not sending enough doses of COVID vaccine and for spreading corona in the poll-bound state by bringing outsiders without testing. Meanwhile, a day after an alleged audio tape of Mamata Banerjee surfaced related to Cooch Behar firing incident, the TMC chief alleged that her phone is being tapped, and she also said that she will order a CID probe into it.
যেখানে যেখানে ইলেকশন হবে সব জায়গাতেই আপনারা আমাদের তৃণমূল কংগ্রেস জোড়াফুলের প্রার্থীদের ভোট দেবেন। আগামী দিন ভালো থাকতে হলে, শান্তিতে থাকতে হলে। আর মনে রাখবেন, এই নির্বাচন বাংলা মায়ের নির্বাচন, বাংলা মায়ের সম্মানের নির্বাচন, বাংলাকে বাঁচানোর নির্বাচন, বাংলার ইজ্জত বাঁচানোর নির্বাচন, মা বোনদের সম্মান বাঁচানোর নির্বাচন।
And a BJP delegation has urged West Bengal Chief Electoral Officer to take note of the alleged audio clip of Mamata Banerjee regarding the Cooch Behar incident. In the alleged audio clip, West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee is heard asking her party's Sital Kuchi candidate to hold political rallies with the bodies of victims in Cooch Behar.
जो एक ऑडियो टेप आया है, जहां की विधायी मुख्यमंत्री श्रीमती ममता बनर्जी अपने जिला अध्यक्ष पार्थप्रतिम रॉय, जो कि शीतल कुलची के प्रार्थी भी हैं, उनसे वार्तालाप कर रहे हैं। उसमें 5-6 बिंदु बहुत महत्वपूर्ण हैं। सबसे पहला है कि डेड बॉडी लेने मत देना, मृतदेह लेने मत देना, पार्थिव शरीर को रख देना, हम पार्थिव शरीर लेके रैली करेंगे। उसका उद्देश्य एक ही है, उद्देश्य ये था कि इससे जितना ध्रुवीकरण और हो जाए।
Meanwhile, TMC has also lodged a complaint with the Election Commission over the alleged audio clip.
जो सरकारी पार्टी है केंद्र की, उसका आईटी सेल उसको रिलीज कर रहा है। आईटी सेल को कैसे मिला? और पहले तो ये है कि भाई टेप कैसे हुआ, टेप कैसे हुआ, और टेप हुआ तो आईटी सेल बीजेपी को कैसे मिल गया, और उसके बाद उन्होंने चुनाव को प्रभावित करने के लिए सोचते हुए कि प्रभावित करेंगे, उन्होंने इसको रिलीज़ कर दिया। तो इसमें बहुत सारे गंभीर प्रश्न हैं जो उठते हैं।
And moving on now, India has expressed deep shock over shooting in Indianapolis city of US and has offered all assistance to the families of the victims. 4 Sikhs, including 3 women, were among 8 people who were killed late on Thursday in a mass shooting at FedEx facility in the US state of Indiana, staffed by a large number of Indian American employees. External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar has directed the Indian Embassy in Washington, D.C. and Indian Consulate in Chicago to furnish detailed report of the incident and of the Indians who died in the attack. According to a statement released, the Indian Embassy is monitoring the situation closely and the Consul General in Washington has spoken to the Mayor of Indianapolis. Noted Tamil actor Vivek passed away in Chennai on Saturday. He was admitted at a private hospital on Friday following a massive heart attack. He was 59 years old. Tributes poured in for Vivek as the news of his death broke. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu has expressed grief over his demise. In a Twitter message, Vice President said, "Saddened to learn about the untimely demise of Vivek. He endeared himself to the masses through his impeccable comic timing and energetic screen space." In a tweet, Prime Minister Narendra Modi said, "The untimely demise of noted actor Vivek has left many saddened. His comic timing and intelligent dialogues entertained people." Vivek made his mark as a comedian and was known to infuse social themes and messages in his comic roles. He was awarded the Padma Shri, India's 4th highest civilian award, in 2009. And before we leave, let me remind you once again to stay safe from the coronavirus pandemic. Remember to wear a face mask and wash your hands and face regularly, and ensure that you maintain physical distancing whenever you're stepping outside. These simple precautions are all it takes to defeat the pandemic. So that's all we have for you in this edition. Thanks for watching and stay tuned.